Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to also commend the committee on their work, and only because I was on the subcommittee. Is the amendment completely phasing out the boost program? I'm trying to read it quickly.
Yeah, Delegate, you same thing. I think this is your 4th or 5th year on appropriations. It's the same thing we've done every year.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't recall this.
Oh, yeah, it phases out the program. It does, Delegate. It phases out the program. It keeps the students that are in the program in as long as they need to matriculate through school and the schools that they're in. So we're not going to throw any child out of their existing school, but it does restrict any new students from joining.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Madam Chair, if I can then just on the record make a comment about the program.
Sure.
Thank you. So you're right, each year we've participated in this debate, and on behalf of at least a good part of the district that I have in Prince George's County, well, we've put a lot of money and ensured significant funding, and there's great hope and optimism for improvement in the school systems. In my district, we have 2 middle schools that are failing, and we have significant difficulties in our high schools funding important programs like we talked about today, art and sports and chorus and theater. And the students in my district don't have an option to pick another school. I know that the city is fortunate that they can sometimes get themselves to the really good 2 cities and good schools in Baltimore City, but I have 25 scholarships at Elizabeth Ann Seton, which is an all-girls, predominantly minority school. And these girls get to participate in a chorus, they get to participate in field hockey, and they get to participate in a lot of programs that our public schools were not yet able to fund. And those programs offer them the opportunity not only to have a very unique high school experience, but to get to the types of colleges that they might otherwise get. And so for the 25 scholarships for these young women, it's about $143,000. And I will vote against the amendment because the idea that 25 more girls might not be able to have that opportunity. This is not a school that can significantly fundraise or create the endowments like some of the other private schools that we see. And so with that, I would have hoped that with all of the money, all of the funding, all of the great work that we're doing in improving our public schools, that we would have allowed this small opportunity for some people to avail themselves of the very special things that they can get offered in this type of schooling that they cannot get in the public schools. So I will be voting against it. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Delegate.
Thank you. My only comment, I don't want to, flame anything here, is that what you just described, Delegate Valentino Smith, is a sad commentary that we obviously have not been funding our public schools to the degree that we need to. That was witnessed today by the remarks of, Delegate Smith on the floor about the arts funding in Baltimore City. There are just subdivisions, 4 of which, if I recall, that have not met adequacy under the Thornton Commission, and we are very much looking forward to the full rollout of the blueprint, where these schools will finally be able to not only satisfy all the COMAR regulations, but also, know that that includes the arts. We're very happy to hear these other private schools have those programs, but we don't want all schools, including public schools, to have it. But I will be supporting the subcommittee's position on this bill as I have in the past. So,
Madam Chair, would the subcommittee consider not phasing out until after we have the Kerwin in full funding and full support, so that then we don't have to risk that the loss of these scholarships will prevent some of these girls and boys from having those opportunities?
No, thank you, Delegate. The subcommittee has voted. The action is before you. For the reasons Delegate McIntosh stated, this funding is needed for the phase-in of the blueprint. And moreover, with the studies, and I know we'll get into this on the floor, and I know this committee has considered this every year, so didn't feel the need to really get into it here, but studies have suggested that these voucher programs just don't lead to better outcomes. They just don't. The families that leave the schools are families that are already succeeding in the public schools by and large. So, we'll talk about it more on the floor, but this is a final action of the subcommittee. It is the recommendation of the subcommittee, so we're going to stand by it. Thank you.
And I would add Delegate Smith, Valentino Smith, that no student that you know that's currently enrolled in one of these schools will lose their scholarship. That's the point of this, the committee doing it the way it is. No one will be kicked out because of this action. No one.
And that
No,
is their intention.
Thank you to the committee. I just, again, as you know, I appreciate your indulgence for the passion that I have for the students and the phase out of the program, and my disappointment in it. Thank you.
So